welcome guys. This is Creative Climate Change with Climate Youth Artivists. So we're joined by Julie, Sarah, Claire and Helen, who are all members of this organisation. And on this episode, we're just going to be talking about connecting climate change awareness to the creative and cultural sectors. So I'm going to begin with Helen. Do you want to tell me a bit more about your organisation and what you guys do?
Yeah, sure. So Claire and I actually work with an educational program in Cork City in the Crawford College of Art and Design called Creativity and Change. And it's a whole program of courses, events, trainings. The main focus is actually a postgraduate course, but we do loads of kind of extracurricular things around that, all around using creativity to support people's action to create a better world, whether that is environmental or otherwise. So we had an opportunity last year to include young people in our remit, and we decided to set up a youth group, a youth activist studio actually, which was a physical space in the Nan O'Nagle Centre in Cork, where we would support, like we were really inspired by all the really good actions of the climate strikers, like really impressed. And we used to go to the strikes and kind of bring bits of cardboard and things like that and hope like that people could use their creativity to make signs and things like that, or just to help them out with that. But like we wanted to host a space where young people could, you know, figure out this stuff themselves or work out how art and creativity could support them in their action. So we set up a space and we had 2 weeks, I think, where we had some really kind of good stuff getting in motion, but it got shut down. It was last March it started, so it got shut down due to COVID. So we moved online, and Sarah was the only one from that real life group who came online, but brought some of her other climate activist friends online with her, and a new kind of a group was born from that. So we worked together online for a couple of months, and then when we did a few cool kind of online projects, but then we were really, really eager to do something in the physical space when we could. So we designed a mural for the centre of Cork City, and we went in like a load of guerrilla artists one day and just painted a giant. It was on the back of all the Black Lives Matter stuff that was happening in America. So the gang, like all the other climate activists, felt very strongly about this and felt that racial justice is an important part also of climate justice.
Yeah.
So we painted a really, really big Black Lives Matter mural in Cork City.
Yeah, I had a look at that. I've seen that loads. I can't believe that was you guys. Well done, yeah. Fabulous.
Which was also an indirect provision mural. We won't forget that side of it. It was huge. So yeah, it got a lot of attention and kind of put this gang on the map a little bit, I guess. They were in the national media with it. So the group has really gone from strength to strength since then. Again, doing what we can in the online space and eager to get back to working together in person again. But we're spread out around the country too, so it's good that we can connect together online.
Yeah.
Sure, they'll tell you more about the work anyway they've been doing.
Great. So I'm just going to get a quick introduction from you guys. So Claire, do you want to introduce yourself and what you do for Climate Youth Artivists?
Sure. My name is Claire, and yeah, I work with Creativity and Change, and I also work with another side project with Helen called Splattervan, where we do a lot of creative activist stuff with young people. So this is what my role is with the girls, trying to come up with creative projects that can raise awareness for their activism.
Brilliant. And Sarah, would you like to tell me about yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Sarah, I'm 17, and I've been working with like climate activism and climate justice for just over 2 years now. And I first kind of got involved with Claire and Helen through doing some poster making workshops with SCAN in relation to like organising strikes. And then from that, as Helen was saying, the like project was kind of born in Nan O'Nagle. And then we moved online, and like CWA started, we kind of started doing like the creative activism, which was really something I'd never really kind of done before, like including like art and creativity into activism. So it's definitely changed like how I work a lot, and it's been like really inspiring for like moving forward with like climate justice in general.
Yeah, definitely. And Julie, would you like to tell me about yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Julie, and I joined this group during COVID, so I haven't been able to like do any real life actions. It's all just been online stuff. And I joined through Sarah as well because she raised the awareness about the group to me, which was brilliant. And I've been in this group for a few months now, and we've done a load of online creative actions, and I think it's opened my eyes to show that like creativity is just such a large thing. You know, it's not just drawing, it can be nearly everything, and I just love that about it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I think people don't realize that it includes film, photography, and anything really. Like, so let me see, Sarah, would you like to tell me a bit about the work that you guys do at Climate Youth Artivists and how you include creativity and art, and what your thoughts are about including art in your work?
Yeah, so as Helen was saying, we kind of started most of our kind of big work with CYA with the Black Lives Matter mural in Cork, and through that we ended up getting involved with some other projects, but lots of what we've had to do, of course, because of COVID, has been online. So we did like some digital campaigns and all that. What I'd say, like in regards to like including that with activism and climate justice in general, is I think art and creativity is definitely a kind of another way of communicating with people, and it's a very kind of direct way. It's very emotional, because when someone sees a piece of art or hears a song or watches a film and all that, it's like it comes to people directly. I think something like that connects people's emotions is very impactful. So I think definitely using creativity to do that, like I think it does add a lot to a movement. And I think like change like that, when you're looking for it, whether it's climate justice or racial justice or any other like basically social justice issue, when you're trying to expand on that and trying to raise awareness, I think creativity is a great way to like really get the message across, because it's a very like just direct and emotional way to like get people to open their eyes and notice something.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So Claire, would you reckon that in your work with climate change, has the art industry or culture industry, has it made a change, and in what way to your work that you do towards engaging people in climate change?
Yeah, well, I suppose what we do in Creativity and Change is all about bringing creativity into social justice, you know. So I'd definitely be a big believer in, you know, that the arts, you know, it's a way of kind of bringing about changes in culture, and really it's the culture kind of has to change before we can, you know, start to make any real movements on climate change. You know, people all kind of have to want to do it. So where creativity, I suppose, comes in is, you know, it gives us, like Sarah was saying, that kind of emotional response from people to make them want to get on board and make the changes. So yeah, I'd be definitely think that it's you know, it should be at the center of our next plans for the future.
Yeah, definitely. So Julie, do you want to tell me about any projects that you've taken part in? I know it's probably going to be online because you joined during COVID now, but would you like to tell me about any creative projects that you've taken part in so far?
Yeah, so one of the main ones was that we did a creative workshop before. I think it was only like 2 months ago, and we had a space online where people could join, and we taught them about creative tools that they could use online to make like posters and pictures, and we used like Canva and Pixlr, and people got to take part in like climate action online. And we had a lovely community of like people being able to talk about creativity and what it meant to them and what it meant to us. And that's one of the main actions. But we've also taken part in online things as well on Instagram, where we just post creative pictures and posters and try and raise awareness through Instagram as well.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, that sounds really good.
Sorry for interrupting. Those sessions that we did were actually with, one was with the NYCI, the National Youth Council of Ireland, and another with Amnesty International. So we had a group of youth workers and a group of young people coming to those workshops. So these guys are really sharing knowledge with, you know, training people who are learning from them, like adults and activists already. So it's great to see that they're well equipped to do that.
Yeah, that's great to have them on board as well with the projects that you do. So Helen, have you got any upcoming projects in the future that involve creativity?
Yeah, we always have loads on the go. Things are a bit slow now at the moment, with people are zoomed out.
Yeah, definitely.
No, we're very eager to actually do stuff on the ground. But yeah, we have a few bits. We're developing a resource to help other young people engage with their creativity for action. We don't want to give too much away either, I guess, but
no problem.
A few bits, all will be revealed.
Yeah, no problem. That sounds great. Yeah, and just to finish up, have you guys got any tips that the viewers can creatively take part in climate action? I'll start with Claire.
Yeah, definitely. There's loads of free tools and like really simple, easy to use websites that people can use these days. They don't need to be designers to be able to make a poster that could raise awareness about something. Like loads and loads of great free tools you can use. So I would say to explore them.
Yeah, thank you. And what about Sarah? Have you got any tips for the viewers on ways that they can take part?
Yeah, like one thing I definitely say is you don't need to be an artist to do creative activism or art in general. Like I would say that's the biggest thing, that like I think just to like you can do whatever you want, and like also that like every thing of creativity, whether it's songwriting, filmmaking, photography, all of it is creative activism. So really kind of finding the thing that you love to do and like using that is, I think, the best. Like one of the things, like I also do dance, and like I love the idea of using dance for like creating change and like raising awareness. So I would say like do something you love and find a way to like bring that kind of level of creativity into creating change, because I think the good thing about creative activism and creativity in general is it's so broad, like you can do anything. So get creative, I guess.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. Lovely. And what about Julie? Do you have any tips for our viewers?
Yeah, I'll go off Sarah's point as well. Like creativity is so many things. It can be like video making, songwriting, dancing, drawing, everything. And I think if people see how passionate you are about climate change through your creativity, it'll inspire them as well to be creative and try and get involved with climate change, because it can be such a scary topic sometimes that if you bring in something that you love, like creativity, into incorporating it with climate action and climate change, it can just add a lighter side to it, and it can make it much easier to take action and to inspire people, and it can make conversations easier as well. So I think just get creative and do whatever you love, and it'll make climate action and climate change much easier to cope with and to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And how about you, Helen? Do you have any more tips?
Yeah. Well, a big focus of the work that we do and promote in creativity and change is the use of imagination in creating the worlds that we want to see. So I would always say just be as imaginative as possible, like think outside the box, try and, you know, develop ideas that might seem crazy, but that's the only way really that the world can change, you know. So just to really just go for it with your thoughts and ideas. And if one really good method we use is zine making. So zines are really popular at the moment. For those who don't know, they're little like handmade magazines, but you can make them physically on paper, but you can also do them in the digital space. Like they can really be anything you want them to be. And there's some really nice tools for collaborating online, like canva.com has a Teams feature. and there's a few other bits like that, but working online makes it really easy for people to work together. So you can all create a page each that might have, you know, your own information about climate change or things you could do, or you know, little images that you've created and things like that, and you can put them together. They can be printed out, they can be shared online, they can spread a message in a really nice, accessible and easy way, you know. So we're all about the little handmade books, the zine.
Oh, lovely. That sounds great. Yeah, I must have a look at that. I use Canva. It's actually brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
You don't
it's
even
very
need
good.
to go to a shop or anything anymore.
Yeah, literally.
All the hard work.
All right, so that's pretty much it for this episode. Thank you so much. That your information has been a great help. I'm pretty sure our viewers have learned a lot about how they can take part. Thank you for listening to episode 1 of Creative Climate Change. Be sure to tune in to episode 2, where I will be joined by Plan Africa to discuss how they use film and photography to raise awareness for wildlife conservation.